In this video, I'm going to be solving a puzzle I made on a video game called Portal 2. The idea of the game is that there is a puzzle. Your goal in this puzzle is to find the exit door and to go through that door. And by the time you go through the door, you finish the puzzle. The way by which I'm going to go about this is two main things. One, I'm going to be solving this from the perspective of not as someone who has created the puzzle themselves, therefore they know the answer, but rather as someone who's actually never done the puzzle before. As in, I'm going to try to walk through it by taking observations of the environment around me and talk about it in terms of, what someone would say if they've never seen this before. Another thing I want to point out is that I'm going to be using a problem-solving strategy called means and analysis and working backwards, meaning I'm going to identify the ultimate goal that I want to reach and identify the problems that stand between where I am now and where I want to be, and then work backwards from to eliminate those problems one by one. Before I actually go into the actual puzzle itself, this is just a starting room, by the way. This is not the actual puzzle. The reason why I'm in the starting room is because I want to demonstrate to you, for those who have actually never played the video game Portal 2, how some of the mechanics work, so that you won't be watching the videos that go through the actual puzzle itself and be confused because you don't know what each one of these objects do. So yeah, I'll just start. So in the game, part of the puzzle is that you have to take notice of all these different objects in your surroundings and manipulate them such that they will help you reach your goal. So one of the things you'll notice when I'm holding my character in the video game is this gun. Or it doesn't really look like a gun, but we would call it a gun. It's called a portal gun. The idea of it is that you can shoot two portals, a blue one and an orange one, no more than that. And you can only shoot on white surfaces. You'll notice that in this room we have black surfaces being on the wall and the ceiling and the ground. And we have a couple of white ones. The idea is that you can't shoot on black. Notice how I'm shooting, but it doesn't do anything. But you can't shoot on white. And so once I have two portals, the idea is that when I go through one portal, in this case I go through the blue portal, I come out the other portal, which in this case is the orange portal. And they don't have to be next to each other like this. I could put them across the room and you will see this effect. Now, ignore that. I'm going to talk about this bridge in a second. This first object I want to talk about is a button. The idea is that whenever you go to this button and you press it, it performs a given action, so long as if it's connected to something. And the way that you know it's connected to something is based off of these blue little lights that connect from it. And if you follow where these blue lights go and end, you'll notice that where it ends is the actual object that it interacts with and causes an effect. In this case, it's this object. So what we do is we will press the button, and you notice it changes from blue to orange, and it performs its given action. In this case, it shot out a cube, and so if I were to press this button again, it wouldn't do anything because it's still on. This is a cube. One of the things you can do with the cubes is that you can place them on bigger buttons, which is what this is, but that don't work if you try to press them or stand on them. These buttons only work if you place the actual cube on it, which is what it's shaped as. That's the purpose of it. And like the button over there, you'll notice that whenever you activate these buttons, these cube buttons, they do something, and that something is determined based off of what it's connected to. In this case, we follow this blue light, and we see that it's connected to this, whatever this is. At first, we don't know what it is. It's just a black wall like any other, which is why whenever we interact with the button via the cube and turn it on with the lights turning orange, we'll notice that it does something different than it did before. In this case, you'll notice that it went from, right now it's black, you put it on, and now it's white, meaning it went from a surface which is black, which is a surface that you can't place a portal on, to a surface that you now can place a portal on. That can be useful. Over here we have the same idea as the cube, except it's just a sphere. So, for example, we have two buttons. One is cube shaped, and this one is sphere shaped. So the idea is that only buttons that correspond to the shape can actually work when you place that object in it. And then this thing kind of like, then this dropper, if you want to call it that, is similar to this dropper in the sense that it drops out an item. In this case, it's just a sphere. So we look over here, this is the next object, and this is what we call a bridge. I don't really know what the actual names of these objects are, I just kind of give the names to them as I see them. So in this case, it's a bridge, and the idea of it is that it just lets you walk on it like this. Whenever you place a portal, so this is where the bridge starts. I'm gonna remove that. This is where the bridge starts, and this is where the bridge ends. The way you can tell where it starts and ends is based off of the fact that it has this little piece on there, and on this extremity it doesn't have that piece. So on this extremity where it ends, one of the unique things about this bridge is that you can place a portal where it ends, and guess what? The bridge goes through the portal, and goes through the orange one, comes out the blue one. That's why whenever I place a portal here and a portal there, you notice that there's a bridge coming out of both of those. And the reason why is because this is where it starts, it goes through here, it goes through this portal, come out that portal, and then over here. And then a couple more things. So this is, I don't really know what you would call this. This is just a blue force ray. I don't really know what to call it. The name isn't really super important. The idea behind it though is, which is that whenever you or one of these objects, I could pick up one of these objects like this sphere, the cube, I'm just using this sphere arbitrarily, and you place it in it, it goes a certain direction. Now there's a way you can actually reverse the direction of it such that it goes from blue to orange, and it goes, instead of going this way, it goes that way. But that's not really important to this puzzle. Anyways, whenever I step into this thing, it pushes me that way, and I can't actually go against this. Right now I'm trying to press the key to move that direction, but it actually won't work. I can, however, go above or below or fall out of it to the side. And similar to the idea of this, I can actually do the same thing there, the same idea. Two more things I want to point out, which is this turret and, I don't know what you call those, but also a blue force wall thing. I don't know what you call these objects. This is a murder turret, which you want to call them. The idea behind them is that if you stand within their field of view, they will attempt to punch a laser at you and then commence to shoot you. So I'll demonstrate here, and he tries to kill me. The idea is, though, is that obviously he has a limited field of view, meaning you can only see what's in front of him, and only to a certain extent that which is in front of him. Right here, you can't see me, but if I go over there, you can. The idea is that you can destroy these things. The idea behind how you do that is four different ways you could do it. In theory, if there was a white surface right below him, I could place a portal there and over there, and it would go through this one, come out that one, and I could get a hold of him. Ultimately, the idea behind how we want to kill him another way is we could come from behind him, or I guess in front of him, and pick him up and then just throw him on the ground. And if he'll spaz out like this, he'll spaz out, and then that'll be that, you know? He'll be dead. Last but not least, before we go to the actual puzzle itself, I want to point out what this is. I don't really know what these are called. I'm going to arbitrarily give it like a name such as blue wall. I don't really know what they're called. The idea is that you can walk through them and they won't kill you. However, what they will do is that they will delete your portals. Whatever portals you had anywhere else, they will delete them. So notice how these blue and orange portals there. I walk through it and it deletes it. Similarly, if we take a cube or a sphere and we walk through it, it destroys it, and then it might also regenerate through that thing. I actually forgot to point out these three objects, and then we will actually begin with the actual puzzle itself. So this is just a red laser field. If you walk through it, it'll kill you. I'm not going to demonstrate because I don't want to, but it will kill you instantaneously. Over here we have two different types of walls. So you notice that these are just standard walls, and then here we have like windows, you might call them. Through this window that you can see through it, but you can't shoot portals through it. Through this window, this is a grating, you can see through it and you can shoot portals through it. Now there's no white surface right behind it, which I probably should have put there, but imagine if there was a white surface right there and I were to shoot the portal like I am right now, there would actually be a portal that would show up there. Unfortunately, it is a black wall, so it doesn't. And so that's all that's in here. So now that we've given you an introduction to how the basic mechanics of the game works by identifying all the different objects that are in the game that you can interact with. Now there are more than this, I will take note of that, but the idea is that these are the only ones that are relevant to the puzzle at hand, which I made. So now that's the introductory room. Ignore it from the remaining of the video. This is the actual puzzle itself. It does look kind of daunting at first, I suppose, if you were to look at it like this, but you just have to work through it. So again, like I said, the way by which we're going to solve the puzzle is using means ends analysis. So we're going to identify our goal, the ultimate goal, the final goal, and then work backwards from there by identifying where we are now versus where we want to be, and then trying to figure out how to mitigate those problems as they come to us step by step. So whenever I come to any kind of puzzle in the Portal game, and this game is called Portal, by the way, it's Portal 2, the first thing I want to do when I walk through the entrance, which in this case I guess would be this, but really it's that door, is I want to identify where the exit door is, and how do I get to it? Now sometimes we might identify the exit door and it might be open automatically, meaning you just have to reach it and walk through it and that's all there is. Or you might identify the exit door and it might be automatically naturally closed by default, meaning that you have to figure out how do you open it. In this case, we would walk around, we would take notice. So we might say that this is the first room we walk to, and it's pretty big. It looks like there's a couple different entrances to other rooms. So for example, there's this, and then that's another entrance. They have laser fields though. And then, so we have this room, we have this room, and then we walk over here, we find this room. Again, my first goal when I walk into this puzzle is to locate the exit and then to start to think from there. Now we're in this room, we'll notice, okay, we're in this room, we have these murder bots, we have a sphere dropper. This is the sphere dropper, that's the sphere it dropped, and there's a button it falls onto. It looks like that button's connected to something which is actively turned on. We can look at that in a moment. And the turns shoot at us. So obviously with giving the number of turns right here and how they already see me, if I try to walk around there and just try to interact with these buttons over here, they would kill me before I would be able to reach it. So throughout this puzzle, that means that we're going to figure out some way to get around these turns, destroy the turns, whatever it might be. Now you notice behind them, it looks like there's a room behind them, and I'm guessing that that room is connected to this room via those entrances over there, which is a true assumption, being that I made the puzzle, so I know the answer to that question. So, and then we already looked over here. Now we haven't found the exit door yet. It was an interesting thing. I know you won't, and if you've never played the game before, you wouldn't know what it looks like, but I'll help you out. It looks like that. And so now we've identified where the exit is. The issue now that we find ourselves in is that we don't know how to reach it. Because look, here's water. I forgot to mention in that room that the final object that I didn't actually mention is the water. So this water, if you jump into this water, it will kill you immediately. So we can't just simply walk over there, and just for reference, even if I tried to jump from here to there, I wouldn't make it. So the issue is that we found our ultimate solution is the exit. It's already open, so all we have to do is reach it. Issue is that we can't just reach it. So we'll look in our surroundings. Now, one of the first things I would think to myself is, okay, here's the exit. I need to figure out a way to get across here. Now, there's no white surfaces I noticed in the room over there, meaning there's nowhere to place the portal. If there was a white surface, say for example, this was a white surface, I would just simply place a portal here and then another portal there, and then go through this one and come out that one, and there I'd be. But the issue is that there is none. So I observe my surroundings. One of the first ideas I might have to myself is I would notice that there's this blue thing that moves me. Again, if I was in this thing, it would move me from there to there, there to there, and to ultimately to this side. Naturally, I would think to myself, what if I just figure out a way to reach this thing and then go across and then I just fall out of it and fall down here? The issue with that problem that I can see right now is the fact that there's these red lasers that will kill me. For that reason, I have to figure out a way to circumnavigate that issue. What are some other possible situations? Now, we'll notice here, okay, what is this? This looks like a black wall, but interesting about this black wall is, one, it's a darker shade than the surrounding, and then two, we'll notice that it's actually connected to something. I don't really know where that something is. If I follow this blue light here, I will notice that it's connected to something over there in that room, which is probably out of reach right now because of the turns. But if we take from what we looked at in memory from over there, we realize that this is actually a surface that will, if we were to activate its corresponding button, it will change from black to white, meaning we can now place a portal on it, so long as if we actually activate it. So in theory, and we'll notice about its orientation too, so we notice that it's pointed towards the exit. That's important because what that means is that if I can get this to turn from black to white, it'd stay that way, and I place a portal on it, and say for example I'm going across here or somewhere over here, just anywhere from a high place. So if I get up there, for example, or somehow figured a way to get up there or up there. Anyways, if I figured out how to get to a high place and I just simply jump from that high place, fall down to a white space right here where there's a portal, say for example I go through this blue portal and I come out this orange portal, it will launch me towards this, right? The idea there is gravity. Because of our position in space, this gives us a high amount of potential energy through which we can use to, again, in this case, if we're right here, we're going through this blue thing, we fall off of it, fall, go through, say for example, blue, come out orange and shoot across there. So now we have to figure out, okay, how do I change that? Well, I guess in this scenario, we would figure out how do we change from black to white, in which case we're going to follow the button. And then how would I figure out a way to get enough momentum to launch through that? So those are two issues that I want to identify. So it was this one, and it looks like it's this button right here. I can't really quite tell if it's the square button or if it's the button that you can touch. Either way, I need to figure out a way to touch that button to turn it on. Issue I have between that and where I am now is the fact that I've got a bunch of murder bots. So now I need to figure out a way to get around that. Now, my first instinct when I noticed the situation about how do I, okay, this is my sub goal, how do I figure out how to get around these murder bots, is I want to figure out a way, maybe there's a way based off of that room right there, because the room is right there next to the murder bots. Maybe if I just have to get in that room, then I can come over here and kill the murder bots. From behind them, that is. So I'm going to leave that room for the moment being, and then come over here, because these must be the only two entrances that are possible that might be able to access that room, so far as I can tell at the moment. Now, two issues. I'll notice one thing is the problem with that one is that it's higher than that, and it's got a red laser field. This one's lower, it's wider, or excuse me, it's taller. So there's like 1 unit, 2 unit, 3 unit. This one only has 1 unit. What's unique about this one is that this top 1/3 is empty, which means that if I could have a bridge, or if I could have a lot of momentum, say for example got that board to go through this, or if I could use this, either way, I could figure out a way to go through that. So that's my goal right now. I want to figure out how do I get into this, through this entrance, into that room, so that I can figure out a way to kill those murder bots, so I can touch the button to change this, so that I can shoot this with the exit. That's the thought process going on right now. So how do we get up there? I mean, we could in theory use that. It's not, if this was a white surface right there, we could just place one there and then use that maybe somehow, but it's not. Or we could use potential energy. So we fall from a high place and then shoot out. So for example, if say we're up there, we fall down through a portal there, say it's orange, and we come out this blue portal here, and if we angle it right, maybe we go through there? Maybe. I don't know. Let's look at other possibilities based off of the surroundings around us. Which is, so what are the things we haven't noticed? We have a button here, a button there, and this, if you know from memory, this little piece there, it's the same piece as that. Meaning this is a bridge, but it's off, because see how it's blue? Blue means off, orange, blue, these light electrical wiring things, whatever you call it. Blue means off, orange means on. So what that means is that I want to figure out a way to turn this on, because if I can turn that on, and say for example it shoots right here, I can put it through one through here, one out of there, and then now I have a bridge going across that I can walk across to get into this room. So how do I turn this on? I follow the lights. It's this button. I have to hit this button. Now this button is a bit hard to reach because there's no real practical way to reach it. The first thought that comes to mind again is potential energy. Whenever I'm solving these gravitational potential energy, whenever I'm solving these puzzles, I tend to think about where I can put myself, my body in the game, to fall from a high place to a low place to reach things that are too high up for me to reach. That's my general way of thinking. So in this case, I might do trial and error by placing a portal very high and one low that I can reach, and going through the one that's low to the one that's high to see if I can fall and touch that button. So let's try that. Doesn't look like I have enough momentum. Now it looks like in theory, if I were to place a portal along this white wall, I would be able to reach that button so long as if the angle is corrected for, and so long as if I don't have too much momentum and or too a poor angle such that I would overshoot it and hit those red lasers. Because if you could just imagine like a line that we could draw from here to here, we don't want that. We want to hit this though. So how do I reach this button? You know, I need momentum. I need momentum to go through one of these portals I might place here so that I might be able to touch this mid-air, or I could just hit it and then touch it and fall down. So how do I get momentum? Well, there's these two buttons unaccounted for that I haven't messed with. So let's hit this button. What does this do? Oh, it hits one of these blue force rays. Where does this ray go? Now I guess I could reach it if I were to do that and I jump through this and reach it. It just turned off. But because it's a timer, one of the things you'll notice about some of these buttons, you hit them and they have a certain timer for that specific button. So let me just turn this on again so I can demonstrate what it might do. We'll notice that it starts here and it leads all the way over here and it ends here. So I can access it by going through there. And you notice that it comes to whatever this conundrum is over here. Now you notice it also, it just disappeared again, but it actually intersects with this one, which means that if I were to figure out a way to go through it and then go all the way over here, and then it would change angles and go this way. So they're connected somehow. That might be useful. I'll notice over here, okay, we already know there's red lasers. We already know that this is here. This, this blue field, which not only will create our portals, but also the that goes through. But it doesn't hurt us otherwise. We'll notice also there's a white space here. The white space, if we imagine for a second that this is on again for the short time that it is, this white space, this where I can shoot a portal through, actually intersects with this whole contraptment to begin with. So if this was on, it'd be connecting here and here. So in theory, if I go through a portal through here, so say for example here, and I hit the one that's coming through here, it would carry me to this one, and then I can reach this space. The reason why I'm not going to do that right now is because that is not on, therefore the only thing that's right beneath this blue portal is the red laser. So I'm not going to do that. It's dangerous, that would kill me. Last but not least, let's look what this button does. So it's connected to something over there. Let's just hit, see what it does. It's got a timer too, you can tell based off the sound. What does it do? Oh, it's connected to another one of those gadgets that convert a black space to a white space. That's probably useful. And we're watching, and it turns off. So we need momentum to touch this button to turn on this bridge. The bridge's purpose would be to use it to get into that room, and we want to get in that room so we can kill the turrets, and when we kill the turrets we turn on that button and turn that button so we can have this so that we can shoot across there. That's where we are right now. The issue now is how do I get momentum to get to there? I know that I need to place a portal here to shoot through to push the button, but how do I get momentum? One of the ways I said that before again is by falling from a high place through a portal on the ground that shoots out through another portal that's, say for example, that right there. In this case, we could use this. Now we do know that these two intersect, so maybe we can use that to our advantage. So we would do this. Now the issue, I'm not going to go through this because it'll kill me, but the timer runs out before you can actually reach the other side. I'm not going to do it just because it would kill me and I would have to wait for a loading screen to respawn, and that's a little annoying, so I'm not going to do that. So how else could we do that? Now in theory, if I could manage to have a portal already in place right there, say for example there's orange there and then blue here, and I press the button, I can go through the blue, come out the orange, and then fall here so that the timer doesn't go off before I can reach the intersecting corresponding blue one right here. How do I do that though? So I need to figure out, how do I manage to get a portal there? I could just go over here and just put it like this. Now there's a wall right here that stopped that. I could just put it right there and then walk over here and think that everything will be fine. The issue is that this blue thing right here stops me from doing that. As you can see, it turns off your portals. It deletes your portals when you walk through it. So that's not going to be good enough. The solution to that problem would be that maybe I could get up really high. Because notice how it doesn't span the entire wall. It doesn't span this part. Which means that if I figure out a way to get right here, I could shoot I could shoot the portal there and then walk over here, push the button, and then fall down and then intersect. But that's so high. How do I reach up there? It's so high. How could I do that? Well, I could... Now, there's no way for me to stand up there. That's really what I want to do. I want to stand in place up there so I can reach this spot and shoot it. Issue is I can't stand. What I can do is I can jump. Like that. And that's kind of what the puzzle is actually designed to do. So, the puzzle is designed so that you were to fall. Like I did, I shot a portal down low where I can reach it, and went up high where I can't reach. And I go through the one down here, I through this one, come out this one, and as I'm falling, I shoot a portal over here through this little slit right here that's available to me so that I can have a portal there. And then another one here so that I can hit the button and then fall through, go through this blue, come out the orange, fall through this blue thing that's moving me, intersect, and then come over here. Now, the whole point of why I want to go here in the first place is because you notice there's a white space right underneath it. That's useful because what I can do is I can fall from this high place down and then through a portal there and then come out through a portal right here and shoot to hit this button like we did before. I'm going to do that now. Oh. So I need to angle it correctly. If I do it too high, too low, it won't work. Okay, now I have the portal in place. Now I'm going to fall off. Here we go. Now, one thing I want to notice about this is that, again, it's all about the angle. During free fall, if I do it too high, it's going to hit the red laser. If I do it possibly too low, it might also hit the red laser. Maybe not as much as too high, though. So look at where we are right now. Now we have a blue bridge. And like we said before, what was the purpose of the blue bridge? Why do we want the blue bridge in the first place? We wanted the blue bridge so we can get into this room, so that we can figure out a way to kill the turrets, so that we can access the buttons in there. So now I'm going to walk across, and now I am in this room. Great! We haven't been here before. Now what do we see in here? So... a couple of things I'm noticing. I thought before that, you know, what if I came to this room so I could kill these murder bots? But look, there's this thing in the way. I can't walk through this. So maybe that's not the purpose of the room, but maybe it is. I'll notice there's a button here. I'm going to hit this button, see what it does. And it looks like it turned that off. There was previously a blue force field across this top 1/3. Now it's gone. And it's also on timer. Now why is that useful? I can't really do anything through this grating right here. I can't walk through it, but I can shoot through portals through it. The issue is that there's only... Let me turn this on again. Okay. We turn this button on. There's only one white space in this room I can shoot a portal on, and it's that. Now if I stand over here and shoot it... Oh, look at that. If I shoot it low, because as you can see, it's kind of hard to tell, but there's a wall right there, which prevents the bridge from actually going through it. If I shoot it higher, though, we'll notice... there's a bridge. Now notice where that bridge is ending up. It starts from over here in this room and ends over at this high space that I cannot reach otherwise, right? Because I can't climb that. That's not how this game works. So let's reset to how it was before. Now we have this. So what that tells me is I can hit this button. Okay, well, let's notice another thing. What is this? This is, again, like we've seen before previously a couple times, is this is a black wall that converts from a black wall to a white wall. And it looks like it's connected to something in here. Don't know what exactly yet, but I can't reach the button at the moment, so I'm not going to worry about it for now. I'm going to worry about what's in front of me, what I can access, which is this. So I turn this on, and again, like I said before, I can switch the bridge to go that way, and that's kind of where I want to end up. I want to go in that room to see what's in there, because I don't know what's in there. Maybe it's useful, maybe it's not. Let's take a look. Either way. So let's reset it. What that means is that if I walk across here, and then I shoot a blue portal right in front of me, it instantaneously moves me from the bridge that was going this way to the bridge that's going this way. And so now I have access to this room. And now, let's look at what's over here. Everything's black here and dark, so I can't see much of anything or do much of anything. So here's the red laser field that we noticed earlier in the puzzle, which was an entrance. Turn this button on, another timer. And it leads down there. So I'm not going to stand there because when the timer goes off, it's going to kill me. What's unique about this is we are again in a high place, a place that's high in the sky, from which we can jump off of through a portal that's on the ground and come out through another portal somewhere else. Now you notice that again, this blue portal, let's go look at it one more time so that we can see what it is. We'll notice where it is. So if I were to go over here up these steps, turn off that red laser field, jump off of that cliff, if you want to call it, fall down, fall through a orange portal, say if we say it's orange portal that's over there on the ground, and then come out to this blue portal, what would happen? Well, I would have a lot of momentum because I was jumping from a high place and going through the orange, coming after the blue, and the blue would send me flying over here behind the robots. In theory, at least. Let's see. Boop. So now, orange portal, flying over the robots. Now I can kill the robots. In theory, I could kill them by throwing them down, like this, and they kind of turn off. I could kill them by throwing in that, or I could kill them by dropping in water. Doesn't really matter. So, I'm in this room now. I've accomplished my goal. What was my goal in getting this room to begin with, right? Well, my goal was to access these buttons, because we had tracked the thing over there which switches from black to white to here. It's one of these buttons. I hit this one, and what did it do? It's kind of hard to tell, but it actually turned off this blue force, the blue wall right here that deletes your portals, which means that the other button must be connected to this cube. Unfortunately, I'm not cube shaped, which means I need a cube. So now I come over here, and well, this is what the cube dispenser looks like. You can tell based off of, if we were to look at it right there, that's a cube right there. And that's a cube dropper, which means we need the cube out of the cube dropper to fall so that we can put on this button over there, which is cube shaped, so that this changes from black to white so we can use this to shoot across. Two issues. One, there is a blue force ray field wall, whatever you want to call it, that's right beneath it, which even if the cube dispenser were to dispense a cube, the cube would go through the blue thing and then be destroyed immediately. Second problem is that it's not even dispensing a cube to begin with. The reason why is because it's already on. I need to turn it off and then turn it on. So I have two problems. First one, we're going to deal with the fact that even if I were to shoot a cube through it, it would need to be destroyed, because why would we try to figure out how to make the cube if the cube is just going to be destroyed in the first place? So let's do that one first. We'll notice that it has two extremities, one there, one there. Let's figure out which one does it begin, which one does it end. I don't think this is the beginning, I think that's the end. And this is the beginning, right? And the reason why we can tell is because it looks like it's connected to something. Notice these blue dots connected to it? They're connected to something else, which is, we follow them, a button. So if I press that button, it should turn off this blue thing that's going across and connected to this cube, meaning if I were to then consequently figure out how to dispense a cube, it would fall instead of being destroyed. And so I gotta figure out how to touch this button, okay? How do I touch the button? Well, in theory, my first go-to to touch the button would be to do something like this. I mean, I have a bridge, why not use it? Why not just walk across here? I could either use the ledge right here or here, but I think that using the bridge as it is right now would be more useful. The issue is that if there's a white surface here, I would just shoot a white portal there and then walk across. The issue is that there isn't. What I will notice, however, is that this is another one of those objects that converts from black to white, which means that if I can figure out a way to turn this from black to white and shoot a portal through it as I have right now with this, but just there, what that means is that there would be a bridge to walk across from to access this. So now my question becomes, how do I change this? Now I follow the dots, and it connects to a button. The issue is the button's so far away. How do I get that button? If I just walk through this blue force field thing, my portal will be deleted. So how do I reach that? Well, we could just do the exact same thing we did previously, which is that we just go from a high place, we go from a low place to a high place, fall down, shoot a portal there, and then ride that wave along there. That's how we're gonna do it, because that's how we did it before previously. Why not just repeat it? So, let me just try that. So I want a portal there. Okay, I got a portal there now. I got a blue one there. I'm gonna put an orange one here. And again, I'm just repeating the exact same algorithm that I did previously. And the reason why I did this is so that I could figure out a way to get a portal on this side of this blue wall and a portal on that side. Because otherwise, if I just walk through it, then it'll just remove it, so there's no point. So, now we have this. If you listen, it's also timed. So now, let's go through the other side. So we're over here, now we're over here. And, okay, so it's timed. So maybe we could just start over and see if we can figure it out. Go here. I want this. And I do this. And like I said, now I'm going to walk across, walk across, walk across. And here's a button. I'm going to jump. Hit it. Now it's gone. So the first issue with obtaining a cube is now solved. The second issue is just making sure that the cube will actually dispense to begin with. So we'll follow this. So we'll notice that it's connected to this button here, this sphere-shaped button. And we'll notice also that this is the dispenser which drops the sphere onto the button. So what I want to do right now is I want this to dispense a cube, so I can put on this button, by turning it off and turning it back on. The issue is that to do that, this is the button that turns it off and turns it back on. The issue is that I can't reach that. There's water on it. If I jump in the water, it'll kill me. So, how do I reach this button with this sphere so that I can manipulate it? Well, I do have a bridge over there. The bridge helps me get places. How can I use the bridge? Now, this is all black. All the walls are black. If you look over here, this is a grating. This is a wall. I can't walk through the wall. Even though I can't walk through it, what can go through it? Portals and bridges. Which means, notice how this is a black space, which turns to a white space. If I were to shoot a portal through that white space, or rather, I turn it from black to white and then shoot a portal through it with the bridge going through it, I could walk across the bridge to reach this. Well, how do I change it from black to white? Well, I just followed the little dots. Looks like the buttons are right here. So how do I reach those buttons though? So I need to figure out a way to reach these buttons so that I can change this wall from black to white so that I can put a bridge on it that will extend all the way over here, so it starts from there and ends here, and then walk across the bridge to access this button that is on this, or this sphere that's on the sphere-shaped button, so I can dispense a cube to put there. So how do I reach this button then? Or these buttons, rather? Well, like I said before, we're going to use a bridge to get from here to there by placing it there. Why not just use the bridge here too? So let's go get our bridge. Oh, whoops. Hold on, give me a second. Slight technical issue. Okay, now we have a bridge. The bridge is connected to the buttons, just like we wanted. So we hit these buttons, both of them. What do they do? So one of them, okay, so one of them removed the blue force field, and the other turned that from black to white. So I'm gonna turn these both on, and then place a portal there so I have a bridge, like I said before, like I planned. Then I'm gonna walk. Hopefully the timer doesn't go out. And then now I took the sphere off of the button, which toggled the cube dispenser such that it dropped into the cube. And again, if I were to destroy this cube or the sphere I'm holding, what it does actually is it regenerates it. So if I were to destroy this, if I just destroyed it, it would regenerate. Great, so now we have the cube. Now why did we want the cube again in the first place? Let's think back to previously in our thought process. Well, we wanted the cube so that we can put on this button. Right? Now this is a white space, like we said before at the very beginning of the video. Now this actually, just as a disclaimer, this actually doesn't do anything. This is just a placeholder, because what I noticed before playing the puzzle is that if I just place the ball somewhere, it tends to roll. And sometimes it eventually rolls into, like, destroy itself. Like, for example, rolling over there to the thing, or rolling in the water. That's why it's there. It doesn't do anything, just hold it. So now that the cube's there, it turns this from black to white. So, if we just did the exact same algorithm that we've already done twice before, which is we get on this thing, then fall through from there to a portal down there and shoot through this, we get to the exit. So let's just follow through with that algorithm. Okay. Just exactly like we did before. So we're going to put one portals. I'm going to put one here, because again, I want to fall through one that's down here and shoot out through there. I did it! With power, momentum, and gravity. So now I'm in this room. So there's the exit. The issue is that there's water in between me and the exit. And what is this? The cube, this button shape, this cube shaped button is connected to, it looks like two things. It's connected to whatever that is, and it's connected to whatever this is. I'm kind of curious, what is that? I can't really tell. So I'm going to put the cube on it to see. And then this part is just walking. So it's kind of tedious a little, but it's fine. Boopity boopity boop. I'm just walking. Walking. I wish I could run. Again, what am I doing right now? I'm getting this cube so I can put on that button. Let's see what it does. Alright, here we are. I'm gonna put it on. Now I have a bridge. Looks like it's connected to two things though. So now I can use this bridge to walk across. Oh no! What is it connected to? It looked like it connected this red laser field, which would kill me if I walk through. But I want to walk through because I want to get to the exit. If I take the cube off, it then therefore follows that two things will take place. It will turn off both of the things it's connected to, which is the bridge and the laser field. Which means if I walk past there right now and take the cube off, what's going to happen? It's exactly what I said. But how do I get here then? So I walk across. I want to figure out a way then, because I take it off, another red laser should be gone. I want to figure out a way to destroy or take this cube off of this button so that it turns off only when I'm over here. So I get over here first, and I figure out a way to turn that cube off, or excuse me, turn the button off by destroying the cube, taking the cube off, whatever it might be, so that this red laser field goes away and then I can do my thing. Ideally, if there was a white space here, I would just shoot a portal here, a portal there, walk through this one and take it off and be fine. But how do I do that? Well, remember what is connected to, let me walk over here. I don't want to walk in water. Let me move into the other room. How do I make it so that the cube disappears only when I'm over there? How do I regenerate the cube? Well, this is the dispenser that drops the cube. It regenerates whenever the object what it is connected to turns on or off. What is the object is connected to? It's connected to that sphere-shaped button over there. When is the sphere-shaped button on and off? It's on when there's a sphere on it, and it's off when their sphere isn't on it. Because right now the sphere is right here. I have it. And it's off, which means if I destroy this sphere at any given point in time, what happens? The sphere dispenser over there, it regenerates a sphere. That sphere falls from where it is on the ceiling to down below where the button is, thereby activating the button, and the button activates the cube dispenser, which causes the cube to destroy that one and regenerate another one, and it falls through. So what that means is I can walk across here with my sphere, and I can destroy this. If I can figure out a way to destroy the sphere, it'll regenerate the cube. And the reason why I want the cube to be regenerated is because all that means is that that cube's no longer there, which means this red laser field is also no longer there. How do I destroy the sphere? Does the red laser field destroy it? No. Does the water destroy it? Yes, it does. And then that's kind of it. That was the puzzle.